Original post: my girlfriend said she was pregnant and pressured me to buy a house, but she didn't know I had a vasectomy last year. I played along to catch her, and now the baby shower is coming. I never thought I'd be the guy posting something like this, but here I am, because I just don't know what else to do. A bit about me: I'm 30. Been with my girlfriend Maya for about 2 years. Things were good at first. We were happy, no rush for marriage or kids, just enjoying life. I've always been upfront about not wanting kids, and about a year ago, I got a vasectomy. I thought we were on the same page. Then 2 months ago, Maya dropped the bomb. She told me she was pregnant. She was so excited, talking about how this was going to be the start of our family, how we needed to buy a house because the baby deserves a good home. She started pushing me, harder than ever before. House visits, we should start saving. You'll be a great dad. That kind of stuff. I was stunned. The thing is, I had a vasectomy last year. I hadn't told Maya, mostly because I didn't think it was a big deal. I was sure there was no way she could be pregnant by me, but I kept my mouth shut, decided to play along for a bit, to see where this was going, and to figure out what was really going on. At first, I thought maybe she was confused or scared and needed time to come clean. But the more she pushed, the more I got suspicious. Her family started buzzing about the pregnancy. Friends congratulated us. The pressure was on. I started looking for answers late nights, scrolling through messages. Subtle questions, watching how she acted around certain people. Nothing was obvious at first, but then I caught her texting someone with a smile that didn't feel right. The messages hinted at something off. Meanwhile, the baby shower was planned. A huge event with her entire family, friends, and everyone who wanted to celebrate our little miracle. The closer the date got, the more uneasy I felt. I couldn't shake this feeling that something was wrong. I didn't want to be the bad guy, but I also didn't want to get trapped in a lie, so I started quietly gathering evidence. I went to my doctor, got a copy of my vasectomy report, just in case I needed proof. I reached out to someone who might know the real story. I wasn't ready to expose Maya publicly yet, but I was ready to stand my ground. Tomorrow is the baby shower. I'm planning something big, because at this point, I can't just stay silent anymore. If this is really happening, then I want the truth out there for everyone to see. I'll update after tomorrow. Wish me luck. Update 1. The baby shower reveal. Everything came crashing down. So the day of the baby shower finally came. Maya's family had gone all out. Decorations everywhere. Balloons. That typical, it's a boy-girl stuff. A huge crowd of her relatives and friends. I showed up feeling a mix of nervousness and anger, but mostly ready to get the truth out. I knew this was my chance to clear the air once and for all. At first, things were awkward but polite. Maya smiled wide, welcoming everyone, acting like this was a happy celebration. The room was filled with chatter and laughter, the kind you hear when everyone is trying to ignore the elephant in the room. As people mingled, I kept my eyes on Maya, watching her with a strange mix of pity and frustration. She kept glancing over at me, probably wondering what I was planning. When the time came, I stood up with a glass of champagne in hand to make a toast. I started off with the usual stuff, thanking family and friends for coming, praising Maya for her strength, talking about how excited I was to become a dad. People smiled, clapped politely. Then I dropped the bombshell. I told them all the truth, that I had undergone a vasectomy a year ago, that medically, I could not be the father of Maya's baby. I explained how I had kept it quiet to avoid drama, but now, with so many lives involved, I needed the truth out in the open. I pulled out the doctor's report, and held it up for everyone to see. The room went completely silent. Maya's face turned pale. Her eyes flicked around, panic growing. And then I did something no one expected. I turned to the side and pointed at a man standing quietly near the back of the room. That man, I said, is the real father. It was someone Maya's family barely knew, a guy I'd secretly invited after I'd found out who he was. I won't lie, it felt surreal having him there, knowing what was about to happen. The crowd gasped. Whispers turned into murmurs. Some people stared in disbelief, others looked furious. Maya tried to speak, her voice shaking as she denied everything, called it a misunderstanding, said I was trying to humiliate her. I stayed calm, refusing to let her derail the moment. The real father stepped forward, confirming everything that Maya had been seeing him for months, even during our relationship. He told the truth plainly, no sugarcoating. I explained why I had played along because I needed undeniable proof, because I didn't want to be manipulated or trapped in a lie. I wanted honesty, no matter how ugly. The room was a mess of confusion, hurt, and anger. Family members argued quietly, some trying to console Maya, others glaring at her. As for me, I felt a strange mix of relief and heartbreak. Relief that the truth was finally out. Heartbreak that the woman I trusted had betrayed me so deeply. After the chaos, I decided I needed space to process everything. I left the party early, knowing that whatever happened next, my life was never going to be the same. Update 2. The fallout: broken trust and shattered Illusions. The days after the baby shower were surreal, to say the least. Maya's family was split down the middle. Some were furious with her, unable to believe she'd lie about something so huge. Others, shockingly, sided with her, claiming I was cold, cruel, and trying to ruin her life in the worst way possible. It felt like walking through a battlefield where everyone was picking sides, and no one was truly listening to me. Maya herself went into full damage control mode. She started telling people I was the villain, that I was heartless, that I wanted to humiliate her in front of her family, that I was being selfish about the baby. I won't lie, it stung hearing that from someone I once loved. But I stood firm. I shared my side when I could, how I had gotten a vasectomy a year ago because I didn't want kids, how I never wanted to hurt her, but how her lies had broken my trust completely. I told people how I'd kept quiet for months, hoping for an explanation, but ended up being lied to and manipulated. The real father's role, that's where things got complicated. At first, he stepped up, confirming what had happened. But after the initial shock wore off, he started to pull away, scared of the drama and pressure. He didn't want to be dragged into this mess. And honestly, I can't blame him. Sometimes he'd reach out with questions or half-hearted apologies. But mostly, he stayed silent. I guess that made me the only adult in the room. Emotionally, I was a wreck. The betrayal cut deep, not just because of the lie about the pregnancy, but because Maya had gone behind my back for months. The heartbreak felt overwhelming at times. But strangely, there was also relief. Relief that the truth was finally out in the open. Relief that I wasn't trapped in a lie. Anger came and went. Some days I was furious at Maya, at myself for missing the signs, at the entire situation. Other days, I just felt numb. Thankfully, a few close friends and family members stuck by me. They offered support without judgment, reminding me that I deserved honesty and respect. Their kindness was the only light in a very dark time. I decided to break things off with Maya. There was no coming back from this for me. I couldn't trust her again, and I couldn't be part of a relationship built on lies. We're also sorting out legal stuff, custody, financial responsibilities, all the hard stuff no one talks about until you have to face it. It's overwhelming, but I'm trying to do what's right. Looking back, I keep thinking about how it all started, how I missed the signs, the little inconsistencies in her stories, the secretive texts, the sudden changes in her behavior. I ignored those red flags because I wanted to believe in us. If there's one lesson I've learned, it's that trust is fragile, and once it's broken, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. I don't know what the future holds. I'm taking it one day at a time, trying to heal and move forward. What I do know is that I'm done being anyone's fool. Thanks to everyone who's listened and supported me through this. I'll keep you posted as things unfold. Asterisk. Final update. Moving on, stronger, wiser, and ready for what's next. It has been about 6 months since that disastrous baby shower and everything that came after. Life has changed in ways I never imagined. Maya, she's moved on, or at least, she says she has. Last I heard, she's focusing on raising the baby, with some help from her family and, surprisingly, the real father stepping up a little more than before. It's complicated, messy, and I'm not involved. Honestly, I'm relieved to keep it that way. As for me, healing has been slow but steady. The betrayal cut deep. It shook my trust in people and made me question everything about that relationship. But over time, with the support of close friends and family, I've started to rebuild. I've taken time to focus on myself, my mental health, my goals, and even dipping my toes back into dating. Cautiously this time, trusting someone again won't happen overnight, but I'm hopeful. Legally, we worked out the necessary arrangements. It wasn't easy. Custody isn't really my battle since I'm not the biological father, but financial responsibilities got complicated. I won't bore you with the details, but having everything on paper made it clearer who's responsible for what, and helped me avoid future headaches. Looking back, if I could give advice to anyone facing something similar, it'd be this: don't ignore your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. And above all, protect yourself emotionally, financially, and legally. Lies and manipulation can destroy trust and relationships in an instant. Sometimes, the hardest part is accepting the truth and walking away. I'm grateful for everyone who listened, supported, and believed me when things got messy. Your kindness made a world of difference. This experience has made me stronger and wiser, even if it hurt like hell. I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago. I'm better. So here's to new beginnings, lessons learned, and the hope that the future holds something better. Thanks for reading, and take care of yourselves out there.